Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to NXT The Game, Season 2, Episode 43 of NXT TakeOver 100. This is our 100th episode here on NXT. We have a pre-show match, a couple matches back to back to back, and then we're going to get straight into some angles and segments, building out the rest of our season. But let's get straight into the action, folks, because I cannot control my excitement any longer. Here we go. And the match has some good action, but not in the much way of heat. Becky Lynch and Candice LaRae defeat Dana Brooke and Emma when Candice hits the ballplex, when Candice LaRae defeats Dana Brooke by pinfall with a heartbreaker. So Becky and Candice beat Dana and Emma here tonight on the pre-show match. Now to open the show, welcome to NXT TakeOver 100, our 100th episode, says Renee Young. The fans cheer. Corey Graves, the amount of awesome we have planned for tonight, well, it has to be seen to be believed. The fans cheer again. Corey, I've had jitters all day. 100 episodes. 100. Absolutely amazing. We're going to kick it off tonight with two men who have personified NXT from the first day. Unfortunately, they are no longer friends. First blood, says Corey Graves. The scene fades into the video package. A video plays hyping the blood feud between Enzo and Big Cass, aka Big Cass and Manifest Destiny. It shows our NXT Tag Team Championship win, the months and months of turns, and how it's all played up until now. Tonight, it's ended. The winner gains access to the NXT Money in the Bank ladder match and later on the show, but the first blood match, they got to get through that first. Let's see who wins. And about that featured great action and average heat. Enzo defeats Big Cass in first blood match in 13 minutes when Big Cass was busted wide open. Enzo Amore gets the victory over Colin Cassidy here tonight, and he advances to the NXT Money in the Bank match later in the show here at NXT TakeOver 100. Now on to the next match, and a match that features some great action and average heat. Southern Style, James Storm, Scott Dawson, and Dash Wild of the Revival defeat the Balor Club, Doc Gallows, and the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, in 7 minutes when the match descended into chaos. Obviously, this feud is going to continue because Southern Style just came back and helped William Regal fend off the Balor Club. Finn Balor, of which are still suspended. Doc Gallows acting kind of like the leader as of right now. But Southern Style and the Balor Club really was just on this card to, promote the future program between the two teams, and that's exactly where we're going to go. So let's continue. Now, and about that featured great action and average heat. Bayley defeats Asuka in 10 minutes with a belly-to-belly hugplex. Bayley getting a victory over the former women's champion Asuka, and it's a big win for Bayley because she's been kind of on a losing streak in terms of takeover specials and big matches. So Bayley gets the victory here and gets herself one step closer to potentially getting another title shot at that NXT Women's Championship. All right, now the camera finds Enzo Amore in the back, looking absolutely exhausted, laying down in the locker room, icing his knee after beating Big Cass of Manifest Destiny in a first blood match and having just advanced to the Money in the Bank ladder match. The camera focuses on Enzo as Mr. NXT walks in. Congrats, says Mr. NXT condescendingly. Step 1, right? Enzo sits up. Step 1, he says, sure of himself. 45 minutes, that's a lot of wrestling tonight, Enzo, says Mr. NXT, laughing as Enzo is now looking at his NXT Championship title. Like this, and do yes as Mr. NXT, dismissing him and laughing as if he has no chance. Enzo Amore smirks. 45 minutes is nothing, says Enzo, as Mr. NXT smirks. I'm thinking about going for an hour plus tonight. Winning the Money in the Bank match, he says, then walking down and cashing in and beating your ass for the title. The fans cheer as Mr. NXT seems caught off guard by Enzo's confidence. Enzo looks pumped up as Mr. NXT walks away. All right, and about that featured great action and average heat, Tyler Breeze defends his NXT Light Heavyweight Championship successfully with beating Jay Lethal in 8 minutes with a beauty shot. Tyler Breeze makes his second defense of his NXT Light Heavyweight Championship, and poor Jay Lethal cannot just continue to get that streak of his going. It's win-loss for Jay Lethal, and that's a big loss tonight, as he had a shot at the NXT Light Heavyweight Championship. Unfortunately, Tyler Breeze was the better man tonight. We'll have to see if this program continues, but as of right now, Tyler Breeze is still your NXT Light Heavyweight Champion. A video plays now hyping that everything that's happened between Kevin Owens and the Outsiders, from setting up the NWO Gold turn to Owens turning this angle into his own personal Manifest Destiny. Guys, remember, new stable name, Owens, check. Big Cass, check. Charlotte, Carmella, check. It falls and ends tonight as the match is up next. In an extremely short match, Kevin Owens drew with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash in a Handi-Cap match in 5 minutes when the match descended into utter chaos. So Kevin Owens just absolutely beating up the Outsiders really aggressively here in this match. After Kevin Owens has just taken out Scott Hall and Kevin Nash to the point where the referee has thrown the match out and officially ruled Kevin Owens as the loser, Owens grabs a chair and begins to go crazy, laying out the Outsiders over and over with stiff shot after stiff shot, just being completely uncontrolled. Owens is getting nuclear heat now as the fans are cheering for the Outsiders as he's screaming, "Where are you, Hunter? Where are you?" calling out Triple H, who's supposed to be returning here tonight at NXT TakeOver 100 per Stephanie McMahon. Owens lays a few more shots on the road agents and referees now as they've ran to the ring trying to clear out the Manifest Destiny leader who cannot be controlled. Kevin Owens is walking back up the ramp, screaming, chanting, raving like a frickin' lunatic. As you know, only Kevin Owens can. So Kevin Owens with a loss here tonight, but really he didn't even want this match. He just wanted to beat up his former friends, the Outsiders of the NWO Gold. Leading Manifest Destiny is Kevin Owens, leading Big Cass Carmella with Charlotte. So that happened. Now, a video match plays hyping the Charlotte and Sasha Banks feud and finishes showing the final package of Sasha Banks, the boss, legit boss, defending her NXT Women's Championship match. Next, coming up against Charlotte. And in a bout that featured great action and average heat, Charlotte defeats Sasha Banks in 13 minutes by pinfall with a fast roll-up. Charlotte wins the NXT Women's Championship. Charlotte was off her game, which is a little disappointing. Kevin Owens did accompany Charlotte to ringside after his little tantrum. But Sasha Banks, her first loss here in NXT, is to Charlotte for the NXT Women's Championship. Charlotte is your new NXT Women's Champion, and the belt has went to Manifest Destiny. William Regal now shows up on our screens as the fans cheer. William Regal. Usually I would do this in front of you, says all the fans. William Regal being shown on the monitor. However, it's NXT TakeOver 100, and it's a wonderful competitor tonight we have, and I do not want to take it away from them. The fans cheer. As you know, NXT TakeOver Respect is coming up in just a few weeks, and I'm proud to say that at NXT TakeOver Respect, Finn Balor's suspension will be lifted for his actions against Shinsuke Nakamura, because there will be a contract signing. The fans cheer loudly and chant for Nakamura. After working out a deal with New Japan at NXT TakeOver Respect, the contracts will be signed between Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura as they will be in the ring together, signing a contract to go one-on-one at NXT TakeOver Legacy 2, our Season 2 finale. The fans begin to chant, "Thank you, Regal." The stipulation will be determined at a later date. Thank you very much. NXT is bringing the heat. First match announced for NXT TakeOver Season 2 finale between Shinsuke Nakamura and Finn Balor. So they will be skipping NXT TakeOver Respect in terms of a match and heading straight to Legacy 2, where the two who know each other very well will be facing off. Now, in about that featured great action and average heat, Enzo Amore defeats Hideo Itami, Ricochet, Samoa Joe, Sin Cara, and Baron Corbin in a Money in the Bank match when Enzo retrieved the item. Enzo Amore falls on his ass and is the NXT Money in the Bank briefcase holder. My lordy, what a match for Enzo Amore. What a night for Enzo Amore. Renee Young, Enzo has done it. Enzo has done it. Somehow, some way, he has won his first blood match and the Money in the Bank. He's went over 45 minutes tonight. Enzo Amore is the Money in the Bank briefcase holder. But look at him, says Corey Graves. Look at him. He's done. He has nothing left. The camera shifts to Enzo Amore, who sits up barely, holding his other knee now, drenched in sweat, can barely move. The camera pans in tight at Enzo Amore, smiles with his mouth busted open a bit as he wipes it. Enzo mouths to the camera, "I'm coming for you tonight. I'm coming for you tonight, Mr. NXT. I'm coming for your strap, son." The camera then quickly pans to the back after showing the ring and shows Mr. NXT, who actually appears a bit shaken, as Enzo promised to cash in tonight earlier in the show if he won this match. Mr. NXT looks back down at his championship, clutching it tighter. Mr. NXT walks away and out of the picture as we fade back to the ring as Enzo has gotten up to an enormous set of chairs. Enzo is Mr. Money in the Bank. Alright, now, a video plays hyping the NXT Tag Team Championship match between the NXT Tag Team Champions American Alpha, Jason Jordan and Chad Gable, defending against the American Wolves, Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards, with a stipulation added that whichever team loses the American ahead of their surname. And in about that featured great action and average heat, American Alpha defeat American Wolves in 13 minutes when Chad Gable defeats Davey Richards by pinfall with an Alpha and Alpha Alpha. American Alpha make the fourth defense of their NXT Tag Team Championships, and American Alpha, Chad Gable, Jason Jordan defend successfully over the Wolves, not the American Wolves anymore, the Wolves, and have continued their hot streak of winning. It's time to play the game! The lights dim and Triple H shows up for the first time since losing and being beaten down by Kevin Owens at the Season 1 finale months and months ago. The ring's clearing, and Triple H, dressed all to business, walks to the ring and grabs the mic on the way down as the fans are cheering and chanting for the return of the game. Triple H takes it in before speaking. "It's been a long time, NXT Universe," he says as the fans cheer. "And you know me, I'm not one to talk. The fans laugh. Triple H, I'm going to get to the point because while I can stand here and talk down to Kevin Owens all day, the fans boo. I'm not going to do that. Tonight is to celebrate all these wonderful athletes. The fans cheer and clap. Triple H gets serious. But Kevin, I know you're watching. Your reign ends at Legacy 2. Your reign of violence here in NXT. That's right. Train up, Kevin. Because in a few months, at the end of Season 2 finale at NXT TakeOver Legacy 2, you and me are going to square off again one last time. Triple H pauses. At NXT TakeOver Legacy 2, the Season 2 finale, Kevin, you and me are going one-on-one. At NXT TakeOver Legacy, it's going to be Triple H against Kevin Owens inside a Hell in the Cell. The fans cheer and chant and are shocked at Triple H just dropping the microphone and taking it in, as the crowd is now going bonkers. Renee Young and Corey Graves are shown on camera, but are so stunned they can barely look at one another. Triple H looks around again and again. Triple H looks around before leaving the ring to his music. The fans shock. To add to Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura, it will be Triple H and Kevin Owens inside a Hell in a Cell. The camera cuts backstage now showing Kevin Owens with the new NXT Women's Championship and Manifest Destiny member Charlotte reacting to what they just saw. Kevin Owens looks at Charlotte, who looks back both a little bit concerned. Kevin Owens grabs his bags and Charlotte's hand as the duo leaves the arena tonight. Bo Dallas is shown sitting backstage getting ready for his NXT Championship rematch. Mr. NXT is now shown walking down the backstage hallway on his way to the ring. A video plays hyping the NXT Championship match between the champion Mr. NXT and Bo Dallas, and they're about to go for 30 minutes in an Iron Man match. And about that featured great action and average heat, Mr. NXT defeats Bo Dallas in 30 minutes in an Iron Man match by 2 falls to 1. He wins at the buzzer. Mr. NXT makes defense number 1 of his NXT Heavyweight Championship over Bo Dallas. Corey Graves, Mr. NXT has done it. He's outlasted Bo Dallas in the first ever NXT Iron Man match. All hail to Mr. NXT, the king of NXT. Mr. NXT is exhausted, as Bo Dallas has slid out of the ring and allowed Mr. NXT to begin to celebrate, which receives tons and tons and tons of boos. What a heat magnet. As he continues, soft is blared, and Mr. NXT looks up as the fans scream as Enzo Amore with the NXT Money in the Bank briefcase shows up on the ramp limping. Enzo watches Bo head to the back, and Enzo looks down at Mr. NXT, who fixes his mask, and Enzo, who can barely even move at this point, let alone wrestle, reaches a few steps more on the ramp and slowly continues to limp as the fans are roaring and chanting for him. Enzo takes a step forward and falls to a knee and drops the briefcase for a second, but gets back up and grabs the briefcase as the Enzo chant starts again. Mr. NXT is willing him to the ring as Enzo takes another step forward and again falls to a knee after limping. Then, out of nowhere, Sami Zayn, the man who Mr. NXT broke his arm, shows up on the ramp and walks up to Enzo Amore. Sami helps pick up Enzo, who can barely move, and puts his hands next to Enzo and tells him audibly over the microphone nearby, "Not tonight, Enzo, not tonight," he screams as he taps the briefcase. "You've earned that chance. You've earned that case. Not tonight. Let me have him tonight. He broke my effing arm," says Sami as he grabs his arm. Enzo, again, who can barely move, stands up and humps Sami Zayn and jumps up, smacking his ass, telling Sami to go and get him. Sami Zayn runs down to the ramp, and Enzo falls to his ass again. As Mr. NXT looks around and around, trying to think of what to do as Sami slides in, and Mr. NXT chooses to sprint towards him and takes him down by Sami. The two roll over and over the ring, rolling all over the ring as Sami grabs his arm and looks to the fans, telling him that he's going to break Mr. NXT's arm, just like Mr. NXT broke his arm. Mr. NXT, however, is able to break free and slide out of the ring onto his back, onto his ass, grabbing his NXT Championship that's on the floor, and throwing himself over the barricade into a sea of fans who just stand there yelling and cursing at him. Sami raises his hands up and the fans begin to cheer and chant for Sami as he takes it all in. Sami then points to the ramp where Enzo is standing up again. Enzo raises his NXT Money in the briefcase over his head as the fans cheer and chant for Sami. Then Enzo, as we fade out of NXT Takeover 100, with Mr. NXT hightailing it like a coward out of the arena, with the camera going back and forth from shots between Sami and Enzo celebrating as NXT Takeover 100 will come to an end. Increase in popularity in 40 regions. NXT TakeOver 100 was a roaring success, everyone. Absolutely thrilled with a 69 rating. My segments, as you know, aren't as high as many of those other, group segments that I see online. We're still in cult status. We haven't risen to national status, so we're getting very high ratings for cult status. Either way, this was NXT TakeOver 100. This was NXT TakeOver 100. NXT Season 2, The Game, Episode 43, NXT TakeOver 100. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. As announced, Shinsuke Nakamura and Finn Balor, Triple H, Kevin Owens in the Hell in the Cell. Legacy 2 has already began to be prepped. Much more than WrestleMania, I might add. But I absolutely cannot wait. Legacy 2 is going to be great. Respect is going to be great. Enzo wins the first blood match and the Money in the Bank. Alpha defends. We have a new women's champion. Tonight was a freaking amazing show for NXT The Game. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for watching 100 episodes. I want to know your guys. Like I said, I ask for it once every 20 episodes or so. I want to know your guys' feedback tonight. What do you think of the direction so far that we've taken in 100 episodes and the direction that we're going into Season 2 finale of Legacy? Thank you for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. And you guys are the reason why I keep recording these. 100 in.